Hi guys, Svetlana Sotak here, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to do a welt zipper pocket. Now this is a super practical pocket that can be added both to the exterior or to the lining of your bag, and the thing I really love about it is that you can add it to pretty much any bag or pouch you're working on, as you can simply install it in the panel as it is without having to adjust any measurements. Now in this tutorial I will be adding a welt zipper pocket to an exterior panel of my Juniper Basket, and I will put a link to the pattern in the description below if you want to check it out. But you can use these instructions to pretty much add any size pocket that you wish. To make a welt zipper pocket, you will need a ruler, a rotary cutter, and a cutting mat. You will also need a fabric marking pen, a glue stick. A regular water-soluble glue stick is fine. You will need sharp fabric scissors, pins, and you will of course need the main panel you will be adding your pocket to. You will need some fabric for the pocket lining and your zipper. Now I'm using a 7-inch long metal zipper for my pocket, but you can adjust this tutorial to any zipper pocket or zipper length you want. So since I'm using a 7-inch long zipper, I'm going to cut my lining to be 9 inches wide, because I always like to cut the lining 2 inches wider than my zipper is. And my lining is going to be 12 inches long because it's going to be double the size of my pocket. So the lining is 9 inches wide by 12 inches long. I like to work on my cutting mat when adding welt zipper pockets to my project, as I find the lines on the mat make it super easy for me to line everything up. So I went ahead and placed my lining right side down along these lines right here. Now I'm working with a solid fabric, so right and wrong side doesn't really matter here. But if you're using a print, make sure the pretty side is down and you're working on the wrong side of your panel. And I'm going to start by drawing a 7-inch long line 1 inch from the top edge. The line is going to be 7-inch long because I'm working with a 7-inch long zipper. And to do that, to center this line, I'm going to place the ruler right here 1 inch from the top edge and draw a 7-inch long line. So here is my first line, 7-inch long, and because my lining is 9 inches long, I know that I need to start 1 inch from the edge and finish 1 inch from the edge as well. And I'm going to move the ruler 1/2 inch down like so and draw another 7-inch long line parallel to the first one like this. Okay, and now I'll join these two lines. I usually just join them by hand, but you can definitely use a ruler if you want. And this is going to be our zipper opening right here. Now we just need to do one more line through the middle of this rectangle, but start and finish 1/4 inch from the short edge. So again, I line everything up and start 1/4 inch here and finish 1/4 inch from the edge. And now join these corners like so, just making these little V shapes. And now we have our zipper opening all drawn out and ready to be added to the panel. Now I placed my main panel on my cutting mat again, lined it up with the lines on the mat. And as you can see, I already added the stabilizer called for in the pattern to make sure my panel is nice and sturdy and ready to have the pocket added. Now I'm going to need to place my pocket 1.5 inches down from the top edge and center it along this panel. And to do that, I'm again going to use my ruler and the lines on the mat and place the ruler 1.5 inches down from the top edge like so, and bring my pocket edge right here against the ruler. Now I want to make sure the pocket is centered, so it means there will be the same amount of fabric exposed on both sides. So I have 3.5 inches on this side and 3.5 inches on this side. Everything looks perfect. So I'm going to remove the ruler, and now I'm just going to use my pins to hold the lining in place. And as you can see, I'm trying to move it as little as possible. I'm holding it with my hand down to make sure the lining doesn't shift on me, because If you did that, then your pocket will not be straight, and you don't really want to have a crooked pocket on your bag. So I'll just add a few pins right here. And at this point, I could definitely, again, just go and make sure everything is lined up. So I would, again, place my ruler right here and see if everything is the way I intended it to be, and everything looks great. So now it's time to take this pocket or the panel to the sewing machine, and we are going to stitch all the way around this outside rectangle, backstitching at the beginning and end, and just the rectangle right here. Okay, when you get to the corners, make sure you stop with the needle down, pivot, and continue. And again, stop with the needle down, pivot, and continue all the way around the rectangle. Okay, I've sewn all the way around my pocket opening right here. I'm going to remove my pins, and the next thing that I need to do is cut along this middle line right here. And to do that, I'm going to again use my ruler and my rotary cutter, place it along the line, and just make one cut right here, a few inches long, and not starting or finishing along the line, just through the middle right here. And I'm going to finish cutting with my fabric shears, and I'm going to cut all the way to the end and then into these little V shapes, coming as close to my stitching as possible, but making sure I do not cut into the stitches. Okay, now if for some reason you did cut into your stitches, just take it back to your sewing machine and restitch it, okay? And now I placed my panel on my ironing board, and I'm going to use my iron on cotton setting with some steam to just press the pocket like that. Hit it with a bit of steam to set the stitches, like so. And now I will lift up the pocket panel like so and press along this edge. Move it down, place this top edge, kind of push it down and press along this edge again. Hit it with a bit of steam again. And now it's time to turn the pocket right side out. So place it inside this hole right here. Just we are going to be turning the pocket to the wrong side, like so. Okay. And you see, as you do that, you are going to have this nice opening right here for your zipper. So go ahead and play with it a little bit. Make sure all the edges are as straight as possible. And then when you're happy with the way the edge looks, just press it with your iron again to make sure it all stays nice and neat. Okay, and now I'm happy with the way my pocket opening looks, and we are ready for the next step. It's time to add our zipper, and as you can see, I went ahead and did a few stitches, just a few stitches back and forth right here along this open end of the zipper, just to make sure the zipper tape is nice and closed here. So it will help me just install the zipper in a slightly neater way like that. Now I placed my zipper on a piece of paper just to prevent my work surface from getting messy, and I'm going to use my glue stick and add a little bit of glue all the way around the zipper tape, just staying within maybe like 1/8 inch along the edge, because I don't want the glue to be showing once the pocket is all finished. So just along the edges. And now I'm going to bring my finished pocket from the previous step and just place it along the zipper, and make sure my zipper is centered as neatly as possible here. So again, just play around with your zipper, neaten it up as much as possible, like so. And here we go. I always like to keep my zipper pull on the left side, as it makes it easier for opening all the pockets for most of right-handed people. So if you're using your left hand, just use the right side. Okay, like so. So my zipper would be okay like that. And now I'm just going to add a few pins just to make sure everything stays nice and neat and it doesn't shift on me when I stitch. So just a few pins, especially here on this side, because the glue is already doing a pretty good job holding it, but just in case. Here we go. Yeah, it can still shift a bit, so I add a few more pins, one and one more. Okay, and now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and stitch all the way around this zipper opening, using about like somewhere between 1/16, 1/8 inch seam allowance. And again, when I get to the corner, I stop with it in a needle down position, pivot, and stitch all the way around. Now make sure you do not hit any of the metal parts of your zipper. So pay attention where they are and stitch around them, not over them. And now I'm going to stop in a needle down position, lift up my presser foot, and move my zipper pull out of the way. You never want to sew around your zipper pull. Okay, I now backstitched at the end and I sewed all the way around the zipper. As you can see here, my zipper is now neatly attached to the back of the panel, like so. So nice and neat. I stitched all the way around the metal ends. I didn't stitch over them. And here is what the pocket looks like on this side. Now all we need to do now is place it right side down and bring your pocket up. Like so, line it up with the top edge and use a few pins to hold the pocket in place here. So I just use a few pins right here along the top edge and along the sides. Here we go. And now I'm going to stitch along these 3 open sides just to close the pocket. And to do that, I like to do it this way. I just place it right side up, move my exterior panel away from the pocket, but here I have to be careful with my pins, so I'll remove it before I start stitching. And I'll start stitching using about 1/2 inch seam allowance. And again, move this pin out of the way. And I'll pivot when I get to the corner. Again, move my exterior panel out of the way and stitch all the way down and remove my pin. And don't forget to backstitch at the end. And we just need one more side of the pocket to be closed again. Remove the pin and stitch along this edge, backstitching at the beginning and end. All that's left to do now is give your pocket in your panel a good press, cut off any stray threads, and you are all finished. hope you guys found this tutorial useful and will have lots of fun adding zipper pockets to your future projects.